Today, we are going to study Meditations by J. Krishnamurti. In this, we are going to start with the preface written by J. Krishnamurti in March 1979. He says, "Man, in order to escape his conflicts, has invented many forms of meditation. These have been based on desire, will, and the urge for achievement, and imply conflict and a struggle to arrive. This conscious, deliberate striving is always within the limits of a conditioned mind, and in this, there is no freedom. All effort to meditate is the denial of meditation. Meditation is the ending of thought. It is only then that there is a different dimension which is beyond time. A meditative mind is silent. It is not the silence which thought can conceive of. It is not the silence of a still evening. It is the silence when thought, with all its images, its words, and perceptions, has entirely ceased. This meditative mind is the religious mind, the religion that is not touched by the church, the temples, or by chants. The religious mind is the explosion of love. It is this love that knows no separation. To it, far is near. It is not the one or many, but rather that state of love in which all division ceases. Like beauty, it is not the measure of words. From this silence alone, the meditative mind acts. Meditation is one of the greatest arts in life, perhaps the greatest. And one cannot possibly learn it from anybody. That is the beauty of it. It has no technique and therefore no authority. When you learn about yourself, watch the way you walk, how you eat, what you say, the gossip, the hate, the jealousy. If you are aware of all that in yourself without any choice, that is the part of meditation. So meditation can take place when you are sitting in a bus or walking in the woods full of light and shadows, or listening to the singing of birds, or looking at the face of your wife or child. It's curious how all important meditation becomes. There is no end to it, nor is there a beginning to it. It's like a raindrop. In that drop, or all the streams, the great rivers, the seas, and the waterfalls. That drop nourishes the earth and the man. Without it, the earth would be a desert. Without meditation, the heart becomes a desert, a wasteland. Meditation is to find out whether the brain, with all the activities, all its experiences, can be absolutely quiet, not forced. Because moment you force, there is duality. The entity that says, I would like to have marvelous experiences, therefore I must force my brain to be quiet, will never do it. But if you begin to inquire, observe, listen to all the moments of thought, its conditioning, its pursuits, its fears, its pleasures, watch how the brain operates, then you will see that the brain becomes extraordinarily quiet. That quietness is not sleep, but is tremendously active and therefore quiet. A big dynamo that is working perfectly hardly makes a sound. It is only when there is friction that there is noise. Silence and spaciousness go together. The immensity of silence is the immensity of the mind, in which a center does not exist. Meditation is hard work. It demands the highest form of discipline, not conformity, not imitation, not obedience, but a discipline which comes through constant awareness, not only the things about you outwardly, but also inwardly. So, meditation is not an activity of isolation, but is action in everyday life, which demands cooperation, sensitivity, and intelligence. Without laying the foundation of a righteous life, meditation becomes an escape and therefore has no value whatsoever. A righteous life is not the following of social morality, but the freedom from envy, greed, and the search for power, which all breed enmity. The freedom from these does not come through the activity of will, but being aware of them through self knowing. Without knowing the activities of the self, meditation becomes sensuous excitement and therefore of very little significance. Always to seek for wider, deeper, transcendental experiences is a form of escape from the actual reality of what is, which is ourselves, our own conditioned mind. A mind that is awake, intelligent, free. Why should it have any experience at all? Light is light. It does not ask for more light. Meditation is one of the most extraordinary things. And if you do not know what it is, you are like the blind man in a world of bright color, shadows, and moving light. It is not an intellectual affair, but when the heart enters into the mind has quite a different quality. It is really then limitless, not only in its capacity to think, to act efficiently, but also in its sense of living in a vast space where you are part of everything. Meditation is the movement of love. It isn't the love of the one or of the many. It is like water that anyone can drink out of any jar, whether golden or earthenware. It is inexhaustible. And a peculiar thing takes place, which no drug or self hypnosis can bring about. It is as though the mind enters into itself, beginning at the surface and penetrating ever more deeply until depth and height have lost their meaning and every form of measurement ceases. In this state, there is complete peace, not contentment which has come about through gratification, but a peace that has ardor, beauty, and intensity. It can all be destroyed as you can destroy a flower, and yet, because of its very vulnerability, it is indestructible. This meditation cannot be learned from another. You must begin without knowing anything about it and move from innocence to innocence. The soil in which the meditative mind can begin is the soil of everyday life. The strife, the pain, and the fleeing joy. It must begin there and bring order, and from there move endlessly. But if you are concerned only with making order, then that very order will bring about its own limitation, and the mind will be its prisoner. In all this movement, You must somehow begin from the other end, from the other shore, and not always be concerned with this shore or how to cross the river. You must take a plunge into the water, not knowing how to swim. And the beauty of meditation is that you never know where you are, where you are going, what the end is. Meditation is not something different from daily life. Do not go off into the corner of a room and meditate for 10 minutes, then come out of it and be a butcher, both metamorphically and actually.